260. The metal that remembers, nitinol, and shape memory. Bend it, twist it, heat it, and it snaps back into form. Nitinol is not just a metal, it is memory made solid. It doesn't resist change, it absorbs it, then remembers itself. Not stubbornness, resilience. 261. The tree that communicates, the wood wide web. Beneath the forest floor, roots touch. Fungi thread between them, carbon, signals, warnings. One tree falls ill, another sends aid. The forest is not a collection of trees, it is a conversation. Spoken not in words, but in sugars and mycelium. 262. The sound that travels through bone conduction. You don't always need ears to hear. When vibrations hit bone, your skull becomes an echo chamber. Some people hear music through their jaw, voices through their teeth. Even in silence, you are listening. 263. The lake that turns over, thermal inversion. In summer, warm water floats, cold sinks. In fall, temperatures shift and the lake flips. Nutrients rise, oxygen sinks, the water stirs itself awake. Even stillness holds revolutions. 264. The creature that builds with bubbles, caddisfly larvae. Tiny, soft-bodied. But what do? They build. From gravel, from sand, from silk. Underwater homes, wrapped in bubbles. Architecture from instinct. They are artists before they become wings. 265. The light that keeps time. Atomic clocks. Atoms vibrate, lasers catch the rhythm. No pendulums, no gears, only perfect pulse. Atomic clocks lose 1 second every million years. Time itself, listening to particles. 266. The blood that flows blue. Hemocyanin. In some animals, octopuses, spiders, blood is not red, it is blue. Because copper, not iron, carries oxygen. Different chemistry, same purpose. Life writes its laws in color. 267. The river that paints the desert. Alluvial fans. When floodwaters exit mountains, they spread, drop their sediment, draw patterns. Fans of minerals on sand. Geological brushstrokes. Art made by gravity. 268. The star that collapses into silence. Black holes. A star too heavy. It dies, but instead of exploding, it folds in, shrinks, becomes dense beyond measure, and then vanishes. No light, no time, just gravity. A silence so deep, it pulls reality with it. 269. The tree that drinks air. Epiphytes. They grow on branches, not rooted in soil. They gather mist, trap dew, sip sunlight. Air becomes drink, sky becomes ground, living without touching earth. 270. The seed that sleeps centuries. Resurrection of life. In Arctic tundra, seeds lie frozen. In deserts, buried under dust. Then warmth, water, a crack, a shoot. Some seeds wait hundreds of years. Patience is a survival strategy. 271. The ocean that makes music. Wave resonance in basalt caves. On some shores, there are caves that hum, Waves enter, echo, bounce, and the stone sings, not in melody, but in rhythm, deep, hollow notes that vibrate in the ribs. You don't hear it with your ears, you feel it, a memory of movement carved into basalt. Not all music is played, some of it is shaped. 272. The eye that sees twice, mantis shrimp vision. Where we see color, the mantis shrimp sees symphonies. It has 16 photoreceptors. We have 3. Ultraviolet, polarized light. To it, that's just vision. A language of light we cannot read. A world of hues we cannot name. You think you know what the ocean looks like. You've never seen it like they do. 273. The plant that feeds on air, tillandsia and vapor life. No roots in soil, no reach into ground. Air plants drink fog, breathe mist. They live on wind and patience. Their beauty is not in their bloom, but in their refusal to cling. To thrive without anchoring, is that weakness or freedom? 274. The glacier that flows, ice as liquid stone. A glacier moves, not like a river, not like a storm, but slowly, constantly. It flows like a sleeping giant thinking, carving mountains, making lakes, inches at a time. We call it ice, but it behaves like thought, invisible at first, and then suddenly, everything has changed. 275. The shadow that moves without you, Earth's umbra in space. Lunar eclipses show something strange. A shadow falls on the moon, and it's ours, projected thousands of kilometers into space. A perfect curve, slow and quiet. Earth's signature on the sky. You cast a shadow that reaches the moon, even without standing up. 276. The creature that breathes through its skin, amphibian osmosis. Frogs, salamanders. They breathe not just with lungs, but through their skin. Moist, porous, alive with exchange. Oxygen in, carbon out. They are part of the air, and the air is part of them. Breathing is not always visible, but it is always intimate. 277. The mountain that grows, tectonic lift. Mount Everest is not static. It rises every year, by millimeters, but it rises. The pressure beneath it still pushes upward, like the world is trying to reach the sky, one breath at a time. We think mountains are unmoving, but even stillness strives. 278. The whale that remembers songs, humpback memory. Humpback whales sing, not just calls, songs, and every year the song changes slightly, and every whale remembers. The new melody builds on the old, culture passed not in words, but in echoes. Their ocean is not silent, it's a choir of memory. 279. The fog that eats sound, acoustic absorption. In dense fog, everything feels closer, and yet quieter. It isn't silence, it's softness. The fog takes the edge off noise, so footsteps don't echo, voices don't carry. Not all silence is absence, some is shelter. 280. The star that wobbles, planetary tug. A planet orbits a star, but it also pulls on it, just a little, just enough. From millions of miles away, its gravity tugs, and the star dances. We find new planets, not by seeing them, but by watching their stars and waiting for the sway. Even light has a heartbeat. 281. The insect that spins glass, leafcutter ants and silica trails. Beneath the soil, leafcutter ants leave trails laced with tiny crystals. Not by design, but by erosion, pressure, and time. Their tunnels glint faintly, microscopic sand polished into something close to glass. Unseen, unmeasured, a network of light built from nothing but chewing. The forest rests on fragile brilliance. 282. The rain that smells, petrichor. After long dryness, the first drop falls, and before it touches you, you smell it. Not water, but oils, spores, memories rising from stone. The scent is called petrichor. It is the earth exhaling. Not every rain nourishes. Some simply reminds you that the world is alive. 283. The ice that burns blue, methane clathrates. Under deep oceans, pressure traps gas in ice, methane locked in crystal cages, stable, cold, until it warms. Then it releases fire, blue flames from frozen tombs, the sea forgetting its silence. Ice doesn't always mean stillness. Sometimes it hides explosions. 284. The flower that follows the sun, heliotropism. Morning, a flower tilts, not just open, but turned, following the sun's arc across the sky, as if it listens to light. By dusk, it has moved completely, not by will, but by longing. Even petals know where warmth lives. 285. The animal that doesn't die, hydra and cellular regeneration. The hydra is tiny, simple, and possibly immortal. It doesn't age, doesn't decay. Its cells renew endlessly. Cut it, it grows back. Wait, it stays the same. Time forgets it. Death has no map to find it. 286. The storm that spans centuries. Jupiter's great red spot. On Jupiter, a storm has raged for over 300 years. Twice the size of Earth, winds faster than sound. It's not just weather, it's a permanent scar in cloud. We call it the red spot. But it's more like a whisper from a planet that never rests. 287. The forest that eats itself, decay and nutrient cycling. A tree falls, becomes soil. Another tree rises in its place. Moss grows on rot, beetles feed on bark, and slowly the eater becomes the eaten. Then the grown again. Forests are not graveyards, they are circulations. 288. The light that circles itself, photons in fiber loops. Bend a fiber optic cable into a ring, shine light through it, and the photons loop again and again, trapped in endless revolution. They do not tire, they do not drift. Some light chooses orbit over exit. 289. The sound that finds its way, wave diffraction. You round a corner and hear music, though no speaker is in sight. That is diffraction. Sound curling around edges, whispering through gaps. You can hide from sight, but sound follows your outline. 290. The mineral that grows like a tree, stalactite formation. In caves, water drips, minerals harden. Drop by drop, stone grows downward or upward. Stalactites, stalagmites, time as sculpture, calcium as memory. What we call lifeless knows how to grow slowly. The ice that cracks with thunder, cryoseisms. Frozen ground can quake. When warmth returns, The earth shouts. Even thawing can be violent. 233. The cell that commits suicide. Apoptosis. Some cells choose death, so others may grow. Sacrifice isn't always loss, it's design. 234. The tree that survives fire. Bark and renewal. Flames pass, but the trunk endures. Charcoal skin, green shoots. 235. The planet that has seasons. Axial tilt. Not distance but angle. That's what makes winter. Lean differently. And the light returns. 236. The star that spins. Pulsars. Collapsed. Compressed. Still pulsing. Even in death. Rhythm. 237. The liquid that never freezes. Supercooled water. Below zero. Still liquid. Still waiting until the slightest touch. 238. The root that finds cracks. Soil navigation. Dark, dense, unforgiving, but still it grows, curves, senses, pushes. Persistence doesn't rush. 239. The sand that remembers wind. Ripple patterns. Each gust leaves marks, lines drawn, erased, redrawn, memory in dunes. 240. The shell that echoes the sea. Resonance in curves. Not ocean inside, but your own blood bouncing back. The shape listens and replies. 241. The cloud that forms from breath. Condensation. Exhale and watch vapor bloom. Even warmth leaves a trace. 242. The fire that creates soil. Volcanic fertility. Ash falls, and years later, crops rise. Destruction feeds roots. 243. The rock that folds. Tectonic compression. Stone bends, given enough time, given enough pressure. Even rigidity isn't absolute. 244. The lightning that splits sand. Fulgurite. A bolt strikes, and glass is born. Shape carved in instant heat. A moment frozen. 245. The tree that waits decades. Bamboo bloom. Some bamboo waits 60 years, then flowers all at once. Timing is encoded. So is patience. 246. The spider that flies. Ballooning behavior. Tiny legs lift. Silk catches wind. No wings, but flight. 247. The color that shifts without pigment. Structural color. Butterfly wings. Peacock feathers. No dye, just structure. Form becomes hue. 248. The snow that burns. Dry ice sublimation. No liquid phase. Just solid to gas, like breath escaping stone. 249. The organism that copies perfectly. Clonal reproduction. Aspen groves. One tree. 1,000 trunks. Identity multiplied. 250. The cave that breathes. Airflow from pressure shifts. Enter and feel a breeze. Earth's lungs, exhaling. The mushroom that glows, Mycena chlorophyll. In the damp hush of subtropical forests, some mushrooms do not wait for the sun. They bloom into the night with a soft green luminescence, like memories you never had. It's not fire, not reflection, it's light born inside decay. Bioluminescence, a warning to predators, a call to insects, a side effect of survival that becomes something like art. We think decay is the end, but these fungi glow brightest in decomposition. 252. The animal that pauses time. Tardigrade cryptobiosis. When the world becomes unlivable, no water, no heat, no hope, the tardigrade does not flee. It folds. It withdraws every part of itself into stillness. Its heartbeat disappears, its breath vanishes, and time stops noticing it. For decades it waits, then warmth, then water, then motion. It was not dead, only hidden in pause, a life between seconds. 253. The stone that sings, lithophones. Not all music is made with strings or brass. In the highlands of Vietnam and the plains of Africa, there are stones, flat, ancient, that sing when struck. Not in metaphor, in resonant, clear tones. They ring like bells, echo like memory. Stone is supposed to be silence, but in the right hands, even the earth sings back. Above the weather we see, the clouds, the rain, is another current. Fast, invisible, global. Jet streams whip around the earth, steering storms, carrying seeds, deciding winters. We cannot see them, but they move everything. Like thoughts we forgot but still obey. 255. The bacterium that fixes air, the nitrogen cycle. You breathe nitrogen every moment, but your body cannot use it. For that, you need bacteria. Tiny lives beneath the soil. They pull nitrogen from the air and feed it to roots, and roots feed it to you. We owe the green of the world to the unseen beneath it. 256. The cloud that reflects sunlight, stratocumulus shields. Some clouds don't rain, they just hover, thick, layered, and while they drift, they reflect sunlight back into space, cooling the earth, softening the heat. A mirror sky, made not to dazzle, but to defend. 257. The fish that swims uphill, salmon memory. They are born in mountain streams, they drift to oceans, live vast lives, then return hundreds of miles, up waterfalls, against all current. They return to the exact place they were born. How do they remember? Scent, magnetic fields, an ancient map encoded in their cells. Some journeys begin before memory. 258. The fire that cleanses, ecological renewal. Wildfires destroy, but some forests need them. Their seeds are sealed with resin, unbreakable until fire melts them open. Ash makes fertile soil. Light enters the underbrush. It is violent, but not mindless. There are flames that take life, and flames that give it. 259. The bird that flies forever, alpine swift. For 6 months, the alpine swift stays in the air. It eats while flying, sleeps while flying, dreams perhaps. It does not land. Its wings beat with a rhythm longer than seasons. To live without touching the earth is to trust the sky completely. 260. The metal that remembers. Nitinol and shape memory. Bend it, twist it, heat it, and it snaps back into form. Nitinol is not just a metal. It is memory made solid. It doesn't resist change. It absorbs it, then remembers itself. Not stubbornness, resilience. 126. The snow that sings. Avalanche warnings in vibration. Snow listens. Each flake holds tension, and when the mountain hums wrong, it answers. Collapse isn't sudden, it's cumulative. Pay attention to your own creaks. 127. The particle that borrows. Quantum tunneling and possibility. Some particles break rules. They pass through walls, not because they push, because they borrow time. Reality makes exceptions. Maybe your leap doesn't need permission. 128. The star that eats. Black holes and event horizons. Some stars collapse so completely they devour light. But even they release radiation. Hawking taught us that nothing is absolute, not even endings. Even voids whisper. 129. The earth that rings. Seismic echoes and planetary song. After an earthquake, the earth rings like a bell. Its tone rolls beneath our feet for hours. You don't need ears to hear truth. You just need stillness. 131. The comet that comes back. Orbits and memory. Some paths don't lead away. They circle, disappear, only to return. Comets trace memory across centuries. What left you might not be gone. It might be on its way back. 132. The silence in stone. Petrification and time's patience. A tree becomes stone. Not quickly, not violently, just faithfully. Mineral replaces cell. Time speaks in texture. You don't have to rush to last. 133. The cell that waits. Bacterial endospores. Some bacteria pause. They dry, shrink, sleep. Then, decades later, awaken. Endospores. Tiny prophets of survival. You are allowed to go dormant. That doesn't mean you're done. 134. The heat that rises. Convection in everything. Warmth moves. It rises through soup, through sky, through skin. Convection is the lift of energy. You are not stuck. You are heating. Give it time. You will rise. 135. The ocean's pulse. Thermohaline circulation. The sea has a heartbeat. Cold sinks. Salt moves. Currents flow like veins. The planet breathes through water. So do you. Your stillness is part of something larger. 136. The plant that counts steps. Thigmonasty in motion. Some plants move only after enough touches. They count contact. They remember patterns. Like you don't react to everything, only what builds, only what matters. 137. The color that changes, chameleons and skin signals. Chameleons shift not for hiding, but for expression, mood, temperature, intention. They speak in color. You do too, not with pigment, with presence. 138. The rock that floats, pumice and lightness in fire. It came from flame, but it floats, pumice, solid stone filled with air. Not all that's heavy must sink, not all pain weighs forever. 139. The brain that rewires, neuroplasticity and becoming. Your mind is not fixed. Neurons shift, pathways reshape, thought carves trail. Learning is not filling, it's growing. You are not finished, you are rewiring. 140. The wind that remembers, Aeolian landscapes. Wind leaves marks, carves stone, shapes dune, memory in motion. The gentlest force over time is the strongest. So be patient. Even breath can move mountains.
141. The seed that rests in fire. Pyrophytic survival. Some seeds won't open unless touched by flame. They wait for heat, for destruction. Then they bloom. What scorches you might also free you. Not all fire burns down. Some clears the way. 142. The mountain that grows. Plate tectonics and patient uplift. Mountains rise, not in leaps, in inches, pushed upward by collisions below. You are not static. Even your stillness is climbing. 143. The shell that spirals. Fibonacci in nature. Spirals appear again and again in shells, galaxies, flowers, not by choice, by rhythm. The pattern of growth written in math. What's unfolding in you might not be chaos, it might be symmetry. 144. The ice that speaks, ice cores and climate memory. We drill into ancient ice and it breathes old air. Each bubble, a season. Each layer, a history. The past is not lost, it's buried and whispering. 145. The leaf that drinks light. Photosynthesis as alchemy. A leaf does what gold cannot, turns light into life, breathes in what we exhale, feeds what we become. It's not just chemistry, it's green magic. 146. The shadow beneath wings, Bernoulli and lift. Birds fly not by pushing down, but by pulling up. Air moves faster above than below. Pressure drops, wings rise. You don't always need force. Sometimes you need shape. 147. The flower that tracks the sun, heliotropism. Some blooms follow the sun. They turn slowly, not for warmth, for knowing. Light is their compass. Maybe joy is yours. 148. The molecule that folds, protein structure and function. Form defines purpose. A protein is just a string until it folds. Then it becomes something. So do you. Shape changes everything. 149. The lightning without rain, dry storms and silent fire. Lightning cracks. No thunder, no rain, only spark. Dry storms ignite forests. Truth doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it strikes. 150. The dust that settles, atmospheric particles and time. Dust floats through sunbeams. Then it lands, layer by layer, becoming history. Be patient. Even the unsettled eventually rests. Even you.